in a place like Tucson here.
Let's start over here, Corey, because we are just now joining you with 13 Plus, and you are looking at a live picture from Tucson. And let's go ahead and take the Mount Bigelow camera, Corey, because we've got some snow coming down.
Yes, we got rain in the valleys here, and look at that snow coming down on Mount Bigelow. I always love seeing scenes like that, especially for the ski lovers. I actually went up to Ski Valley this Monday. It was a pretty cool experience. I think the biggest takeaway, I need to wear sunscreen up there. I forgot about that. You know, you're cold, you don't think about the sunscreen, but that's why.
But how great is it? We've got a ski resort an hour and a half away from Tucson.
It's amazing. I mean, you could be in a place like Tucson, like it was on Monday, where it was 70 degrees.
Yep.
You go up to the mountain, you could ski. I mean, not many places that you could do that at, so pretty cool stuff here. But let's take a look at our radar right now to show what's going on here. We got some of those showers moving through, some heavy to moderate rain pushing through the Tucson metro and for areas north and a little bit south as well. We zoom it in here, you can see that higher elevation snow, and look, San Manuel and Oracle's just to the west of that. They're probably getting some flakes as well. Snow levels probably getting down to around 5,000 feet there with some of that rain there moving through. But let's time it out here using our future first alert forecast radar here. We're going to go through 10 o'clock as it's still sticking around here, but thinning out throughout the remainder of the evening here. And by the time we get to tomorrow, it's going to be clear. And then by the time we get to little overnight hours tomorrow, here comes a little system. You can see some of that rain peeking through the north and west. That rain, here comes another system, this time looking to be a little more impactful and stronger here by 4 a.m., the early morning hours of Saturday. Really looking to get widespread by the morning hours on Saturday. Midday, it starts to slide to the south and east, but I mean, Dan, look at that. Look at all that blue here. Snow level's really going to get low here, possibly down to 4,500 feet, maybe 4,000. So Nogales, Sierra Vista, you can see Wilcox, Tombstone could get some snow as well. And here by the time we get to 7 o'clock, starting to wrap up, but still sticking around here in the Tucson metro. So here are the odds that we'll see that precip. It warrants a first alert action day for Saturday due to the chance for that precip, as well as those lower snow levels could bring some snow to the higher valley floor. Throughout the day Saturday, 70% chance in Tucson, 90% chance in Oracle, 80 in Wilcox, 60 in Nogales. So the farther north and east it seems better chance. The farther west you go, like Ajo, down to a 30% chance. And hour by hour here in the Tucson metro, this is what it'll look like on Saturday for that first alert action day. Chances of rain increase throughout the early morning hours, peaking in the mid-morning hours, and then start to drop off by midday through the afternoon at a 70% chance peak at around 9 o'clock. So here's what the European model is saying for snow here. So check it out here. Sonoyta could get 2 inches, Bisbee with 1 inch, Tombstone could get some measurable snowfall as well, and Nogales, hey, we're watching Oracle, maybe 2 inches, and let's see what the GFS is showing. A pretty similar story. If anything, more snow for a place like Nogales, 3 inches. He even says Tucson could get some snow. I don't think we're gonna get measurable snowfall here in the city. I would bet on the higher valleys out east, possibly like Wilcox, Tombstone, Sierra Vista, possibly seeing that snow by Saturday. Snow, you got those clouds, the rain systems moving through. That's really going to put a damper on our temperatures. We're going to stay very cool, well below average through the weekend here, especially Saturday. Where Nogales and Sierra Vista, it's so dark blue that it's so below average you can barely see it, but it's going to be in the low 40s there. So very, very cool conditions through the weekend. Here's what tomorrow looks like, though. We're going to have a clearing day with some of those cloud cover returning, which is representative of the storm that'll come through the following day on Saturday. We'll start off the day in the high 30s and peak in probably not even get to 60. So another cool day to end the week and in the mid-40s by the evening hours. Here's what that 7-day forecast looks like. Clearing tomorrow, first alert action day Saturday with another system swiping through with those cooler temperatures, maybe some higher valley snow as well. And we clear out on Sunday and we stay cool, but Monday and through early to mid next week, we'll finally see those temperatures get a little warmer and the clouds go away. We finally see those clear conditions by early next week.
All right, thanks a lot, Corey. I got to ask you, you're a skier or a snowboarder?
Skier.
Me too.
Yeah, skiing's a lot easier, I think, to learn, but I think they say it's harder to master, something like that.
And it hurts when you fall.
Yeah, it does.
No matter what you're doing. All right, thanks a lot, Corey. Appreciate it. Well, on to some other news now. It seems that we hear about bird strikes on aircraft a few times a month, but they actually are more common than that. In some cases, the strikes cause very little damage, but sometimes those strikes can create a dangerous situation. Our national team looked into the rising problems and ways that airports are trying to minimize the risks.
You hear a loud thump, loud noise.
That loud thump is the sound of a bird hitting an aircraft, and according to the Federal Aviation Administration, it's becoming a more common occurrence for pilots.
Since the birth of aviation, planes have been competing with birds for airspace.
Back in September 1905, Orville Wright wrote in his diary about hitting a flock of birds while flying over a cornfield near Dayton, Ohio. There was no damage to his plane, but modern-day aircraft aren't always as lucky.
Yeah, the FAA says thousands of bird strikes from both commercial and private aircraft are reported to the agency every year. We go in depth on how birds are compromising air travel safety and the technology and tools in place to prevent a catastrophic collision.
A lot of people closing their eyes and trying to text their loved ones.
Greg Carfagna was a passenger on American Airlines Flight 1958. The Boeing 737 had just taken off from Columbus, Ohio, the morning of April 23, 2023, when Greg heard a loud thud. On the ground, video taken from the campus of The Ohio State University shows flames spewing from the right side of the aircraft.
You could see where the birds hit. It wasn't all that pleasant.
The FAA says bird strikes are a growing concern due in part to increasing populations of large birds and a trend toward faster and quieter aircraft.
Wildlife and aircraft don't mix very well.
In Florida, Sarasota Bradenton Airport President Rick Piccolo has seen his fair share of bird strikes. In 2019, the airport took a step to improve safety by using a $9 million FAA grant to shrink a pond near the runway that attracted birds. Other ways the FAA is trying to protect aircraft include modifying aircraft flight schedules and using dogs or loud noises to chase birds away.
We try to reinforce this, daily, keep as much wildlife away from the airport as possible.
Michael Parento is the wildlife biologist for Bradley Airport in Connecticut. Each day his crews survey the land on and around the airport looking for threats.
Kind of fine tune it to why are we seeing this wildlife here? Come up with a reason and then either alter the habitat on the airfield or remove it completely.
Airports also work with the federal government to relocate nests and at times even resort to lethal removal for species such as Canada geese. That's because Canada geese can weigh up to 12 pounds and are capable of taking out a jet's engine. The aviation experts we spoke to say flocks of birds are even more dangerous because they can result in multiple strikes. Pilot and aviation expert Jim Rosman says he's experienced 2 bird strikes in his career. One hit the plane's fuselage and the other hit the plane's nose. He says he barely noticed the strikes until he saw feathers. If multiple birds had been involved, he said it would have been a much different story.
The engines would have been okay had they just struck one goose, but they encountered a flock of geese.
Rosman is talking about the miracle on the Hudson. Retired airline captain Chesley Sullenberger was inside the cockpit on January 15, 2009, when U.S. Airways Flight 1549 hit a flock of birds so large it took out both engines. Sullenberger landed the aircraft on the Hudson River. Everyone on board survived. The plane's wreckage now sits in an aviation museum in Charlotte, North Carolina, named for Sullenberger. Sullenberger says what happened during that flight should serve as a reminder to all pilots.
We have to make sure that we always have a strong human component to our technological systems.
The aviation experts we spoke to say most bird strikes happened between July and November when migratory traffic is high. And the FAA says about 63% of bird strikes occur during the day, usually when planes are landing.
And a report by the FAA shows that about 10,000 bird strikes per year. That's on average 26 every day. That same report states that 3 factors for the increase. Now, first, the increase in Canadian geese. Second is the growth of air traffic. And third, the switch from 3 or 4 engine planes to 2 engine aircrafts. Now, here's why. While those are more reliable, they are also quieter and less detectable for birds. Thanks for joining us for this 13 Plus newscast. I'll see you back tonight at 10 o'clock on KOLD 13 News at 10. Have a great evening.